All right, let's have a talking video. I want to say like a recap for blocks. It's just like kind of the things that happen during the start to the end. Kind of like people have any some questions or I don't know things I'll try to answer. I don't have a list of questions. More just like the perception of things, events that happen during the event, just to go and clarify stuff. I'll try my best, but anyways, so all I think one of the biggest things from the beginning was people finding out that normally I'm a solo type of guy, which I am pretty much still, but this one I decided to join a group instead. Now the reason why it all starts from the beginning of when the event was announced on Twitter. It was announced that oh on the 27th of January, they'd be like, oh, there's going to be this Roblox Bloxfest feature thing on Twitch, yada yada. I honestly didn't look at it. I saw the post, but I didn't read into it. There's a link to it. I didn't click on the link, so I didn't know what it was. So I just like whatever. Time flies by, and I think in the RE Battles Discord server on the 4th, they made an announcement and a tweet as well. I don't really use Twitter as a source of information, so I don't really, that's why I don't browse stuff. But I know that they made a post earlier, a couple days before that, but I just didn't know what this thing was about. And then I saw RE Battles about their involvement and badge hunts and whatever streaming. So I was like, okay, well, let me take a look, I guess. It was February 4th. February 5th was the deadline of sign up. So I signed up on February 4th. I kind of just forgot, or not forgot, I just didn't even know at that point of what this event was. So I did the signups, and then as soon as I got to the point of joining the Discord server for the event, it'd be like, oh, if you want to apply, send a message to this email saying that you're an affiliate or partner on Twitch. Since I'm an affiliate on Twitch for a long time, I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and send the admin the email or send a message to the email, say I'm an affiliate, and that's that. Though, even though I'm pretty sure all you need to do is say, oh, I'm an affiliate on Twitch, and then you're probably guaranteed to get in. But I put a little, I was like, I kind of messed up and not signing up earlier. It would be a pretty bad thing if I didn't do this. Our battles has been a big part of my content. So I'm like, if I miss this, it'd be pretty bad. So you don't need to put that. I don't know if they read that, but I would say it was pretty worth it in terms of getting in, as you can tell, of getting this far, right? Other than that, that's what happened, and then I pretty much announced it in my Discord server and announced it on Twitter. Oh, now I forgot, but now I'm in. So congrats or whatever. It took about 2 hours to get confirmed, pretty much. I signed up at 8 p.m. And at 10 p.m., I noticed I got the role for the Discord server, right? And verified on the website. After that, this I got a DM from Cwin. I already know who he was for OBB at most to that extent. He said, "Oh, I saw you're in Bloxfest. We have a group of people working together for Bloxfest. If you want to join." He says, "I'm aware that you're solo usually," which I said my reply was mostly, "I'll think about it." I don't know. The plan is kind of a whiplash because it was pretty fast paced for me. I was like, "Oh man, now I'm in. Now what the hell am I doing in this event? I have no idea." You know, I'm past my prime, as I joke about that. So we'll see. And then maybe like a couple hours later, I get a DM by Waffle Trades said, "Oh, I think you got an invite earlier for the team, so I'm gonna ask again, or extend the invitation again." I'm like, oh, at this point, it seems like why not? I don't have a reason not to join, or whatever. So I joined them. I joined during the server. There's about at the very most 20 people in the group. I'm sure it's been shown or talked about. I'm sure people may know at that point who they are. All of them are uh, good competitors and long term. Not long term. I'm the one of the unk ones in the group. But other than that, that's pretty much the reason why we joined. Well, how it happened. It's nothing crazy. Like I didn't look for a group. It's just I was approached twice, at a very pretty fast pace. So like whatever, at this point, I don't know what the event's about, to be honest with you. And I feel like if I was up against a group of 20 people and going in that, I feel like it'd be a pretty severe disadvantage. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I name value. Anyways, so that's the beginning of the event. And if you don't know, in week one, we had to stream for 5 hours to get max points for leaderboard. And then the week two, we still have to stream for 5 hours, but also there is the badge quests, which are the badges over here, right? Now, I will say that the 5 hours, even though, I mean, it's not like it's an actual job, but it's pretty tiring based off of the schedules. They wanted to the daily reset for streaming in the 24 hours was 7 p.m. Eastern, and a lot of people in the group wanted to stream at daily reset and just finish the 5 hours in that time frame. So it'd be 7 p.m. to 12 midnight. So it's a pretty tiring thing to do every time, but it was a lot faster as if everybody was streaming at that time. Then a lot more group games, as they call the social seduction games, played together. So the time went a lot faster with that. So you could watch those VODs. Those VODs would be uploaded to YouTube. Some are already up there, but the week one ones are slowly being uploaded, so you can check it out. I'll have a playlist in the description of this video. You can check out all the VODs there and the progress of all that, and the grand finale as well will be uploaded soon enough, right? So, you know, it was fun to play and collab with everybody and play games together. We all just mostly met. Me. I'm sure there's obviously people in that group that knew each other and all that stuff, but then they knew who I was, but I never really talked to them, obviously, because, well, I'm that guy, does everything by myself. Anyways, so that's pretty much the gist of week one and, the group stuff, right? So let's go into week two. Let's talk about just like the mindset of the week two badges and stuff. So, um, we didn't know the games that early on. You might have seen my tweets if you follow me on Twitter about like me posting about the quests and stuff early, or talking about the games early. They're not that early. It was like a half an hour, an hour. Doors was a day early because we were given the information early on what to do because of some problems. And then at nights, they gave us the information early, and Hypershot was a day early as well because they made their badge public of the day before. So let's talk about that. So Fish, the reason why we kind of knew it early because all these games here on Twitch had a drop, which was the badge drop. You don't know what that means on Twitch. You can have a icon before your name, and that icon you can swap it whatever. And usually those icons are usually earned from watching a stream for a specific game. There is a website that checks the API called the stream database, whatever. And if you're if you're on Twitter, follow on Twitter, or you're on the Discord server, it pings whenever a new badge is added. So we were able to see like an hour early that the fish badge was uploaded to the stream database, and then that told us the game basically. All right, and you can kind of tell some of the drops in the podium over there to show you you can kind of guess the silhouettes of the badges or the games of and the dates of the drops match the dates of the games. Basically, you can kind of guess which games are going to be based off of that. And also another guess was as well, if you're streaming on Twitch, they added subcategories, so you can pick the Roblox category for streaming on, but then it has subcategories for certain games, and we were able to tell which games it could be based off the list we had. And another thing that may have been not noticed, but initially at the very beginning of this event, there's a bunch of games on the list, right? But then a couple days later, we noticed that like 3 games were added to the list, which was one of them was Fish, and I think one of them was Hypershot as well. So that kind of like confirmed like why did they add those games to the list? Why weren't they on the list early? Possibly, I'm not entirely sure. Other than the guess of they could be for the game. So there's a lot of leads there in that kind of sense. Nine Ice doesn't have a drop, so how did we kind of figure that one out, or figure out maybe a little bit earlier than normally, is because apparently we were told, or someone told us, that the Russo made a video about Bloxfest a while ago, and talked about that one of the games they got for the event was one of the biggest games on Roblox. So out of the list of games that is listed in the subcategories, as all the subcategory games had a chance to be one of the badge games. Nine Nights was in there, Extra Steel Brain Rot was in there, something like that, and another one. So if you went through the list there, and like, what is the biggest game on there, and if it's three of them, right? Then I mean, Nine Nights seem to be the most obvious answer, and it's been used in other events as well. I feel like that was a good choice to practice or look into a little bit more, for that badge, I would say. So fish, pure RNG. I got super unlucky. I think I got rank, I don't know, like 20 something. I couldn't get the clout fish. Took a long time for me. And in Nine Nights, we had prepped teams to go in together. I mean, fish, we had team. Well, technically, fish, we had teams. For that, just in case it's like, we needed to work together, but it wasn't. But then we kept the same team from fish, and we did so. We had a little bit of prep in terms of having a group of people to go into the next game, which we knew a bit earlier, like an hour earlier, because of, well, the badge for its stream database. So we had a team ready, and then practiced the runs and everything, all that stuff, and practiced before, because like I said, we had that little kind of guess of the biggest game on Roblox. So we did that. For doors, we had a day of practice of this quest. I had I spent a lot of hours grinding doors off stream, and on stream too. We did the 5 hours on stream as well. And I had the admin panel as suggested to practice better. If I die, just go back, but you had to be flawless for this one. A lot of people decided to get like pros or door pros to get help and practice together, and also, like, during the actual badge quest, actually work together and do it on the badge day. I decided to do it solo because I was pretty confident in doing it solo. The first run I did, I died at 187, I think, to a giggle. Just enough health to die to it. I thought I was going to get rushed, but it was a fake rush. So then I got kind of like a bit too fast. I kept taking damage. And then the giggle landed on me, and that was that. Then second run was pretty smooth. Um, I would say based off the VOD time, I think I got to the boss, or I got to 187 at 50 minutes. Um, and so I don't know about that. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. I paused the video and I already forgot. I don't know. I was talking about doors. Uh, I practiced a lot, and the final boss was very easy. So as long as I got to the final boss, I was able to get there. I already forgot. I literally forgot. Anyways, Hypershot. Hypershot was pretty interesting. We got the information that they uploaded the badge early. Like it was like 4 a.m. in the morning the day before. So we kind of knew what the game was before it came out. But we didn't know what to do in the game. It was like kind of guessing. Is it a puzzle? Is it going to be just playing the game? Obviously, if just playing the game, we didn't really expect too much about it. Surprised. So we had to practice the game. We got a lot of information as well, about what the quest would be in the Discord server, before it came out. And none of it is leaks. I don't people assume that everything that I post on Twitter are leaks. These are not leaks. It's just these are public information that were given in the Discord server. So it wasn't like I was breaking any rules. It's just like we got the information, and I was like, okay, here it is. It wasn't a leak. These are not leaks. We were given information. We could spread around if you want to, because it works for streamers. It works for viewers as well. They wanted the quest early. The badge upload early, so we knew what the game was like a day early. And we started practicing. And and they announced it like later in the day that it got leaked, by the badge and stuff. So they just like gave us kind of information of like, okay, they're removing all the pay to win stuff, all that stuff. So that's just pretty much that's Hypershot. Took a bit of time to do, but we got through it, and then that gave us like top 27 or something. I don't know for that badge. It was not great, but as at least to my knowledge, all of them are like in the 20s average for the badges, and we got average 18th. So I'll take that. I think I'm pretty good on that. Um, Thinking back about it, like I said, I joined this group randomly. But I feel like if I didn't join the group, I feel like only thing I would probably struggle on was probably 99 Nights. So if I would find a group of people to play that, but actually I forgot to talk about. Actually, did I skip 99 Nights? Did well, 99 Nights, they had an issue. 99 Nights, when a quest was released, all you had to do was get the 7 wolf pelts, tame a wolf, and survive 99 Nights. Issue is that the wolf pelt quest, it broke for a lot of people for who's streaming, and it wouldn't complete it. So then you would have to reset the run. So what they did is that normally in this for these badges, you'd be the fastest person to claim it, and you get more points based off your position in the thing. Well, they did instead. All you need to do was earn the badge, and that's it. And like they'll give everybody 50 points. So everybody who does a badge gets 50 points. Doesn't matter how fast you did it. That's what they did for that badge. So even if I didn't, if that was to happen, if I was in the group, then I would have been fine for the rest of the games probably, and would have qualified probably for all of that. It wasn't that bad, but I think since that one would have been the scary one, but with the bug, it kind of made that more obvious that I probably would have been fine with all the quests and stuff. But I feel like streaming the 5 hours per day would probably, I would suffer from doing that. So I'm glad, I guess, we joined for all that. Anyway, so now let's talk about the draft. All right, so the draft wasn't going to be streamed until a lot of people in the streamer chats were saying, oh, it'd be content if it was streamed. Honestly, even if it wasn't streamed and it was streamed, it went pretty quick. This draft was like roughly 10 minutes. It was fun to watch, but it was okay. I got drafted to Lana Ray, and the team that was picked for Lana Ray was seen to be the the stronger one out of all of them, which I don't disagree, but it's still there's some thought process behind it. Even though because my name is there, but I'm getting pretty old, guys, and I know the expectations are there by name, but man, it is. I don't play as much Roblox as you would think I do anymore. I understand the gist of badge hunting and all that stuff and trying to do things fast, but when it comes to practicing and skill level, there's a huge difference nowadays, But we'll see, or you've seen already. So let's talk about the draft. Lana Ray, Ibella, very smart picking no data as a first pick because the captains knew the games before they knew the games before we did. We did not know what the games were going into the finale until the day after the draft, basically. I think, or later in the day. I don't know. I think it was later, the same day, but later. So the captains knew the games. They did research, and Ibella gets first picked, and she picks no data as she knew that Doors was in the competition for the grand finale, and that's like one of the smartest picks, of course, right? And the rest goes through. Crewcraft getting last pick, getting some decent pick. Honestly, picked some pretty good people, as proven in Doors and all that stuff, right? So there's that. Now, when it comes to the games, everybody's questioning about why I didn't play the more other games like Hypershot or maybe I don't know, Doors or something. Right now, it just comes down to team composition and what people want to do. Right. Look, yeah. So like week one, I practiced a lot of before the draft started, there was a Twitch Rivals posted a video showing some of the games, and so before we were in the team, I practiced a lot of Racket Rivals with other people, but so that's why I kind of inclined to play Record Rivals, to do that one. Of course, at the end of the day, I underperformed in that one. I'm not really surprised, but also surprised to the skill level. I thought I was doing pretty good for some of the games, and I spent I don't know how many hours in that game, like over 24 hours practicing playing that game with Waffle and everything, and it's it's tight. I think I was tilted. I was tiring. I think I played a bit too much and maybe a bit burnt out on that. But I tried. It was difficult. Those other teams were really good, and they just underperformed, unfortunately. I tried my best, but there goes that. Now, when it comes to the other games, since we can only play in one of the games per day, that was the only game I could play. Was Rocket Rebels. Second game, I was on Dead Rails. Now these were decided days before. It was days before, so it couldn't really be changed. So I stayed on Dead Rails. Now I know Dead Rails is the AFK game, but there still needed to be some sort of anchor as well. Horace was the main lead for the group, and then I was there just to make sure anchoring it down as well, strategizing and working together with everybody. Right now, Hypershot and Doors. Now, Hypershot, I tried to play Hypershot, and one of the biggest issues was I played against Ozzy and Rai Rice as the main two guys on the team, and every time I faced against them, I would just get beamed. Like I would get just absolutely destroyed. And if I was getting destroyed by our own teammates, I really don't think I would have been that great on the team. Now just to preface this as well, they had the meta weapons or some of the meta weapons. I just had the AK, and so like if maybe I had the weapons, maybe I would have felt something different. But I was just getting destroyed every time using the most default weapons. So it's possible that the weapon diff, but also, I mean, I was very confident in their teamwork and playing together. I think they did a pretty good job when I faced against them, so I was pretty confident that they were going to do well. Unfortunately, uh, it was still competition was very sweaty and very difficult for them. Unfortunately, now with our team we had Siwin, Jay, and Lana. Siwin, I'm confident in. Jay is confident in, and Lana was very confident and she wanted to do it. So I mean, I'm not gonna argue with the captain and the choice of games. She's very good at Nine Nights, and she said she played Doris before, and so I was okay. I didn't really want to. I rarely played any door battle mode ever. It's not my game. I even if I played it I played a couple times like for the event and stuff. I just didn't like it that much. Could have learned it maybe, but when I'm getting old, and I'm taking the old card again. But after playing like very fast paced games and like fast movement games, I get a headache pretty quickly, and I don't think I would be able to survive or do that well. I don't know. I gotta play it. I gotta play it more for sure. But I feel like I don't. I get. It's just that game was a bit confusing for me, even if I watch it and I did play it. Yeah, it's like if I practice, sure, maybe I gotta get better at it. But I just don't think I was a good choice for it. So I went to the AFK game. And we did get first place, so I'll take it for that one. Rack Rivals, I did not do that well. I agree. I do agree with some of the decisions, but also it is what it is. I know it's people want the crown and stuff, but the crown it's not even selling. I don't know how much stock it is. That's 6K stock. It's like five. It's only 5K, 1K sold. So buy it on resale. I don't know what else to say, bro. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't know. I don't have it. I don't get the anything else. So there's that. That's pretty much what happened. And then we have one more thing as well, which is the co-captains. We had our captains, which were pre-picked already, and the co-captains were pre-picked as well. But kind of yes and no. I think the captains had a list to pick from, to pick for co-captains, and I think, unfortunately, our co-captains, we got a co-captain the day before we had to lock in the decision of who is going to play what game, basically, right? And we didn't get our co-captain to the day before, and most co-captains that were given to teams had like 3 days of practice or 3 days of at least talking. I look. I get this. I'm gonna get a comment, or maybe somebody's gonna comment on this already. I'm aware of this already for some other teams, but our co-captain was given very very late, so it was very. It was not tiring. It was very concerning, of getting that information and not knowing who it would it be. And the co-captain we got, she's very nice, but unfortunately, uh, she wasn't like a mouse and keyboard. She played a lot of games, but so we had to teach her kind of how to play the games that she was going to be playing in. So it also gave us a little bit more time on doing that kind of thing. So that's kind of like also like why one of the concerning things we have to deal with that might have slowed us down a little bit in terms of like practicing. So not saying that's her fault. I'm just saying that there's a production on that part that was a bit odd, unfortunately. If we had everything all good to go at the beginning, maybe things would have changed. But unfortunately, that's just how it went. So a lot of that, many people probably didn't know that in terms of what was happening with that. Just to give some more context on how it wasn't as smooth in terms of that part of the competition. And I think that's pretty much it with the competition. I'm just glad that we got it done. Kind of the first time doing that kind of stuff. I mean, doing events for how many years now? Many, many, many years. Hopefully, Roblox event coming up soon. I don't know. I don't really not got confidence in that, but I always don't have low expectations going into it. If it does come out, if it is happening, it's whatever. We'll just be there when it happens. It happens. It happens. It doesn't happen. It's whatever. But there's always they kept saying that there could always be a second Bloxfest, though I am very not confident in that in terms of the integration of Roblox. The Roblox part of it wasn't that heavily uh popular, as you could tell, based off the numbers of this game and based off the stock of it being sold, and even the crown not being sold as well. It doesn't seem that very great in terms of that. But other than that, I had my fun. And I'll try to go back to a normal content if there is anything. I don't know. I might stream more. I don't know. I'll have plans for things in March and April and stuff. But with egg hunts and a game coming out pretty soon, that's gonna be pretty fun. Maybe I'll try it out. But we'll be hanging around, and you know where to find me, either on Discord or I don't know, somewhere. But that's my 2 cents kind of thing with the event. If any more questions, I'll try to answer them if anything. But other than that, that is it for the video.